Hello, I'm Gina with Claiborne Parish Library, and I'm Super Jan. And Super Jan is going to read our story today. It is That's What Leprechauns Do. This book right here. So are you ready, Jan? Yep, I'm ready. Okay, well, let's get started. That's What Leprechauns Do by Eve Bunting. Illustrated by Emily Arnold Macaulay. The three leprechauns sat under a chestnut tree. Art looked up at the cloud-filled sky. "It's coming," he said, "and there's work to be done." Boo and Cole put on their red shoes and their caps and strapped their packs to their backs. "We're ready," Boo said. "But why is it always us that has to put the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Especially since not a single soul ever finds it," Colonel added. Art looked from one of them to the other. "Don't be asking," he said. "It's leprechaun duty. So it is, and fellows, remember it's coming, so there'll be no time for mischief along the way." They walked in a line, the one in front of the other one behind. No mischief along the way," they chanted. But when they got to Bally Bunyan's farm, they saw Mrs. Bally Bunyan's cow, Pansy, standing in the field. Art whipped out the little bottle of red paint he kept in his backpack for leprechaun business. He ran across to Pansy. "Stand still, my lovely," he told her, and he painted her hoofs scarlet red. Pansy looked down. "Pretty," she said. "Imagine Mrs. Belly Bunyan's face when she comes to milk you," Art shouted. He and Boo and Colonel rolled over and over in the grass, laughing. "She'll think I've been to a dance," Pansy did a couple of small hop and steps to demonstrate. The leprechauns clapped and whistled. "We'd be delighted to join you in the waltz or two," Art exclaimed. "But we're in desperate hurry." "I thought there was to be no mischief along the way," Boo reminded him. "Oh, sure, but I couldn't help myself. Mischief's what leprechauns do," Art said, "along with our more important duties." He glanced up at the tatters of clouds in the sky. "And we'd better not delay, for we've been delayed enough already." But as they were passing old Jamie Bradley's house, they saw Jamie's gray woolen long johns spread out to dry on his thorn hedge. Uh-oh, they're going to do something to his pants or his long johns. Woo-hoo! The leprechauns looked at each other and grinned. Quick as a cat pounce, they ran across the hedge and stood one on top of the other and the other on top of him. Art reached up and tied the two Long John legs together in a tight knot. They almost fell off of each other. They laughed so hard it would be great all together to stay and watch old Jamie try putting his legs into those. Boo said, "But it will be a month of Sundays before they dry, and we have no time to waste." They took a few minutes to somersault across Liam McCabe's garden. There was a tennis ball in the middle of the road, and they rode it along with them as they went. Miss Maud Murphy's hen, Birdie, clucked at them from behind her gate. "Birdie," Art said, "would you be doing us a favor? Could we trundle this ball up to your nest and you could sit on it for us? It'll be great joke on Miss Maud Murphy when she comes out to gather your eggs." Birdie put her head to one side. "It's not going to be easy sitting on that. But the three of you were good to me, scaring that fox away from the hen house last night. I'll do it." Colonel stretched up and patted her wing. "Thank you, Birdie." They squeezed themselves through the gate and tumbled the ball with them. Then they heaved it up into Birdie's nest. She gave a trial sit on it. "I'll be sore underneath myself for a week," she grumbled. "But the thought of Miss Maud Murphy's face when she sees I've laid a yellow ball will be worth it." "Won't that just beat all?" Colonel gasped. "The three of you can't help making a mischief, can you?" Birdie asked. "That's what leprechauns do. Along with our more important duties." He stopped. "Is that a spitting of a wet I feel?" "Tiss!" Boo stared up at the sky. Where's the sun was flickering through the heavy clouds. A thin, cool rain had started to fall. "Hurry! Hurry!" Art ordered. "It's coming! We can't be late!" They pulled their green slickers from their backpacks and settled their caps low to the ears. Anybody seeing them racing along the road would have taken them for 3 leaves. But they were leprechauns, and they had work to do. "Get them out by us. Get them ready," Art said. They took their little spades from their backpacks. Then they stopped for a minute to look up at the rainbow. Blue and green and yellow and pink. It was arched across half of the sky. "There it is," Art said with satisfaction. "Come on." Then they dashed across Patty Whacker's bog, found their place where they kept the pot of gold buried for just such a rainbow occasion, and dug it up. Art stood in the middle of the bog. "Here," he said. The three of them placed the pot of glittering gold in just the right spot and watched the rainbow curve itself all the way down till it ended up on top of the pot. The leprechauns settled themselves to wait. They tootled some grass stalk music, threw raindrops at each other, and ate the rose chips they brought for snacks. They waited long, but nobody came. Once again, nobody came. You'd think somebody would find it, Colonel complained. Somebody will someday, Art said. Maybe we should put up a sign, Boo suggested. Pot of gold this way. No, no, Art said. That's not how it's done. There's a bit of magic to the finding of and a bit of luck, and a bit of imagination, too. That's gold's waiting just for the right person. Then the rain stopped. The sun went behind a cloud. The rainbow shortened itself, then disappeared. No use waiting any longer. Colonel took off his cap and wrung the wet out of it. If we hurry, we could be in time to see Miss Maud Murphy discover Bertie's big yellow egg, he said. Boo laughed. Won't that be a great thing to see? All right then, Art said. We'll put a rush on this. They buried the pot again in its usual place. Art patted and smoothed down the bog dirt. Don't worry, Pot, he whispered. We'll be back to get you on the next rainbow day. Now we're off again to see what the new mischief we can find. For besides our important duties, that's what leprechauns do. Oh my goodness! She found the tennis ball and she does not look happy. And the leprechauns are just hysterical. They actually got to see it. The end of the story. I hope you liked the story today. And tune in next week for another story time or puppet story time. Me or Dan will be reading the story to you guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Oh, I hope you liked that story. I'm going to read a little bit about leprechauns. So hold on just a second. According to legend, the leprechaun is a tiny elf found only in Ireland. Most leprechauns are shoemakers to the fairies, who pay them gold for their work. The leprechauns, or little people, store their gold in pots and often bury one at the end of a rainbow. Since leprechauns love more than anything to play tricks, this may be just another one of them. The gold at the end of the rainbow has not been discovered yet. But if you find a leprechaun and pick him up, he must tell you where his gold is hidden. That is the leprechaun law. So look for leprechauns in Ireland, near clear springs of water, or close to large rock formations, or at the end of the rainbow. Listen for the sound of tiny hammers tapping or elfin pipes piping as small voices sing a fairy song. And maybe, just maybe, you will find the leprechaun and his pot of gold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you tune in next week when we have another story time. Bye now. Have a good day.